Hello everyone, my name is George, and I just want to talk about that news that broke today that a new Superman film is coming, and this time Superman will be played by a black actor, and the film will be directed by a black director. Now, before I read this article, I was actually fine with this because I know there are black Supermen in the comics. You have Val-Zod, you have Calvin Ellis. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this is just part of the DC multiverse. Then might introduce Val-Zod or something, and the Flash might set it up or something because that's essentially a multiverse film. But then you read it and they say it's going to be Kal-El, who we know is the original Superman, Clark Kent, and basically saying that it's just going to be the same old, except Kal-El is now black, and that's basically the twist. And it might be a time period piece similar to the Joker. Now, it's not that I have anything against this. I'm not one of those people that's going to say, oh, this is woke, DC's gone woke. No. I know there's Elseworld stories. I know there's certain takes on characters. But it just feels like a missed opportunity on Warner Brothers' part. And I don't think Warner Brothers even knows what they're doing. Like, is this playing catch up to Marvel at this point? Because Marvel now has a black Captain America? That happened because it was set up perfectly. It was set up perfectly from Avengers Endgame when Steve gave the shield to Sam Wilson, and Sam Wilson felt like he didn't deserve it, obviously because he's a black man and felt like he may not be good enough. But then towards the end, he realized he is good enough, and he becomes the new Captain America. That was set up perfectly. Like, what is WB planning on doing? Is this going to take place in the same universe as the Batman? Is this going to be its own universe? Like, why are we getting the same old, same old? Why are we having, another Clark Kent, Superman, Kal-El origin story? We got that with Man of Steel. We got that with the original Superman movie. Why not try something new? I mean, Black Superman. Like I just said, we have two Black Superman in the comics. Val-Zod, Calvin Ellis. It's not like these characters have gotten negative reception. Like, why not try something new? Something unique? Like, this is a missed opportunity. Is this just a way to take Henry Cavill's Superman out of the DCEU? By the way, this isn't a DCEU film. This is like in another universe film. And by the way, this is announced on Henry Cavill's birthday. I mean, obviously we know the fate of Snyderverse is up in the air. But you can still have Henry Cavill's Superman continue in the DCEU and not be Snyderverse. You can still have that. Or Snyder tone. But clearly they're not interested. Even though Henry Cavill has always been open to returning. And Dwayne Johnson wants him to face off against each other in a future Black Adam film. I just don't know what they're doing. Is this also a way to try and negate, the allegations that they faced from Ray Fisher about how he was treated on set? How, they were saying how, well, we have to change your character for Justice League because the audiences might not take well to an angry black superhero. Like, did they not know what the story arc for Ray Fisher Cyborg was? Why he was originally angry? It's like, think about what would happen if, like, let's say they changed things up for Black Panther and treated Chadwick Boseman like crap at Marvel and Disney. That would basically be the same thing. And then basically pushing Ray Fisher out from originally having him in the Flash film, then making his role smaller to eventually cutting him out. Because he spoke out against something that he felt was wrong. And then when you watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, you realize how many people of color were actually cut out of the film or had their roles diminished. Is this like their way of trying to make up for that? Because the simple way is, bringing back Ray Fisher as Cyborg, actually giving him a big role in the DCEU moving forward. Having actually Val-Zod or Calvin Ellis, the actual Black Superman, appear. having other black superheroes like Jon Stewart's Green Lantern. Like, I don't know what WB is trying to do. Are they trying to move away from Snyderverse? Are they trying to like do this to try to prove a point to Ray Fisher and say, hey, we're not really racist people? It's just very head scratching right now. And I've always said I don't like to be negative on this channel, but I'm just disappointed. It just feels like a missed opportunity. And I've always supported diversity, especially when it comes to superheroes, because we've gotten some great ones. But this feels like a forced diversity move. It doesn't feel genuine. It feels like something to try to, either prove a point or try to, push back against certain allegations. And then, of course, you do have J.J. Abrams as producer. Now, I don't hate J.J. Abrams. I've enjoyed his Star Trek. His Mission Impossible film helped turn a corner for that franchise. And I like The Force Awakens. Rise of Skywalker was, It had some very good moments, but also had some very not so good moments. But here's the thing, and this is the thing about JJ. It's a positive and a negative. He has great starting points, but then it's the middle and the conclusion that are not good. And JJ's not, obviously, the director. He's a producer, but it still gives you some concern. I mean, obviously, maybe JJ can learn from the mistakes that he might have made in the past as a past. And again, he's not directing; he's just producing. But that's still not something to be reassuring when you're the DC and you're trying to win fans back. You're trying to clean up a mess that you originally had. This doesn't mean I'm not going to be interested in DC films. I'm interested in all the DC films from the Suicide Squad up to Shazam Fury of the Gods. But afterwards, those films that they say are going to happen but haven't started production yet, I got some concerns. I mean, it's bad enough they seem like very high on Our Man, which is not that popular. Like, I'm excited for Static Shock. That's another black superhero. Like, we already have Static Shock in the work. Like, let's focus on getting Static Shock done. But then you hear this, and it's like, I don't know what they're trying to do here. It feels like they're trying to move away from Snyderverse, as well as trying to prove a point that we're not a racist studio. And I'm not saying WB is a racist studio. I'm saying there might be certain individuals that have enabled, that have not taken Ray Fisher's accusations seriously. And obviously there have been people who have, said, oh, well, Ray has said is true, like Jason Momoa. While Gal Gadot may not have said that she was there for some of that behavior, she clearly saw some of that behavior towards her. Josh Whedon's toxic behavior towards her. You have that story where apparently Josh Whedon threatened her career. I don't know how to feel about this. I want to be excited for this. And maybe this is just, a running idea. Maybe eventually they'll settle on Val-Zod or Calvin Ellis. But it's like, why not just give us those that have an original take? That still feel diverse. That doesn't feel like forced diversity, like genuine diversity. It's just hard to know what the studio wants. It really is. This is one thing I can't defend from them. Like, I'm not boycotting. I've never been a big fan of boycotting. But I'm not confident in this project so far. And, like I said, it feels like a missed opportunity. Especially when you have the Flash film coming out and you can maybe introduce some of this with that. But I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, what this obviously means for Snyderverse. I've accepted the fact that Snyderverse may not be continuing, but I feel like this wasn't the way to break it. This isn't a confirmation of Snyderverse ending, by the way. This is just, like, obviously another dig that's gonna get a lot of people upset. And I've noticed even people of color are not happy about this. Like, usually something like this that they would be excited for, but I think because of how they saw Ray Fisher getting treated on set and seeing what has been happening, and a lot of those people obviously probably like Val-Zod and Calvin Ellis versions of Superman. They were probably hoping those would be the versions they would see on the big screen. I can't speak for them, but that's the reaction I'm seeing so far. I haven't really seen that much of a positive reaction to it. Some people are being open minded to it, and we should be open minded, but there's just skepticism right here. And as far as directors go, they haven't listed any directors. Maybe when a director is announced, depending on how good that director has done so far, maybe there'll be a change in perception. Maybe on who's playing the role. Like, I know I've been hearing the name Michael B. Jordan. I think Michael B. Jordan's a great actor. I think he can do a great job as Superman. Whether he's playing a black Clark Kent or playing Val-Zod or Calvin Ellis. But he's already distanced himself from it or denied the rumors. Obviously, there's been those rumors that, maybe he might come back as Killmonger for Black Panther 2. I don't know. Or, maybe he's interested in another DC character. Yeah, this is just pretty interesting. And I don't want to be down on the dumps on it. I'm just very confused at what Warner Brothers is trying to accomplish. Especially when they already had these versions of these characters. But Warner Brothers be Warner Brothers. Something hasn't been right with them lately. I've always been a big fan of Warner Brothers films, television shows, and cartoons. I still am. I still think they make some pretty good content. But just how they handle certain things or react to certain things has just felt off. Like, obviously, whenever something goes wrong in DC, like, one film gets, like, a mixed and negative reception, it doesn't make as much box office money as they want, they decide to, like, we gotta make another change of plans. Whereas Marvel, if you recall, after Thor: The Dark World was, like, the worst received MCU film and didn't make as much money as they're probably hoping, they didn't hit the panic button. They trusted what they got with Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which were the next two MCU films. And they're two of the best MCU films. So, it's clear that DC doesn't really trust their process. And I want to be excited for this. But we got to see. We got to see what the plan is. Maybe this could be something similar to Joker. Maybe it's like a time period piece. That's what I'm hearing. Maybe it's set in the Batman universe. But that's another thing I'm wondering. Are they going to use the Batman universe, and assuming that this Superman's in there, are they going to use this as a way to reboot the DCEU and have a new DCEU in that universe? That's what I'm also confused about. Like, are they planning on a new backup plan if the DCEU loses its luster and it's like they gotta start from scratch, but they can start with the Batman? Like, that's what I'm wondering with Warner Brothers. All in all, it just feels like there's a lot of things. It feels like they're trying to get away from the bad press that they've gotten with the Ray Fisher allegations, him accusing them of racist behavior, toxic behavior, them trying to play catch up to Marvel because we see now that, we have a black Captain America in Sam Wilson's Captain America. But they did it correctly. They set it up correctly. Them just trying to, move away from the Snyderverse. It just feels like a lot of things that they're doing. And I think they're trying to throw darts at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I'm hoping this is still a good movie. I don't want this movie to fail. I hope this is good. This should be an exciting thing to see. But just because of how Warner Brothers in general handles stuff, and them not understanding DC Comics the way we would expect them to, it's just hard to have confidence in it. Maybe the confidence will change once we find out who the director and the actor is. Like the Batman, at least with the Batman, even when we found out that Ben Affleck was no longer playing as Batman, you still had Matt Reeves as a director, and Matt Reeves is a great director. And I know some people were not confident when Robert Pattinson was confirmed as Batman, but Robert Pattinson has done a great job of distancing himself from Twilight. So at least you can make the case that Robert Pattinson has stepped up his game and looks great. So maybe we just gotta wait and see who the talent is, who the director is. You know, maybe what the story is. Maybe they won't even have an origin story. Like maybe they'll be like similar to Spider-Man: Homecoming, where he's been Superman for several months, or Tim Burton's first Batman film, where he was Batman for like quite a while, but no one really knew about him or who he was. So maybe it'll be something like that. But like I said, I think they should go with Val-Zod or Calvin Ellis. That would be more original. That'd be more unique. But Warner Brothers be Warner Brothers. Let's just hope that it's good at least. But I mean, with JJ, like JJ's a mixed bag as well. So we gotta see. There's no release date yet for this film. I'm gonna assume though the earliest would probably be 2023 or 2024. We'll see. So what do you guys think of this news? Do you guys think this is a good move? Do you think this is a bad move? Do you feel like Warner Brothers has no idea what they're doing? Comment below and let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. As we learn more, hopefully we'll talk more about it. And as I've said in the past, like my last Snyderverse video, I'm kind of mixed. I don't know if it's going to continue or not. This doesn't mean that it's going to end for people who have their hopes up, but I'm of the mindset where, some things, we're not going to get everything we want, even if Snyderverse is restored. And that might also include, will Henry Cavill's Superman continue? So we'll just have to wait and see. And again, this sounds like it's going to be another universe film like the Batman. So it'll still probably leave the door open. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching and hope to see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone.